Welcome to Empower Minds. In today's episode, we talk about getting rid of debt and building a financially free life. If you've ever felt like debt is holding you back, this video is for you. Imagine your life without debt. How great would that feel? Without financial anxiety and without fear of the future. Today, we'll review practical steps to get rid of debt, and we'll share with you stories of people who have faced the same challenge and were able to change their lives. Don't forget to subscribe and activate the bell so you can receive the rest of the series. Knowing the types of debt and understanding their impact. Be careful. There are two types of debt, good debt and bad debt. The first step to getting rid of debt is understanding the type of debt you're carrying. Some debts can be beneficial in the long run, while others can become a huge burden. The story of Howard Schultz, founder of Starbucks. Howard Schultz grew up in a poor environment, and when he decided to expand Starbucks, he faced huge debts due to loans. At that moment, debt was not just a burden. It was a means to a greater goal. How did he succeed? Howard focused on developing a thoughtful plan to pay off debt and expand cautiously, which helped him control debt and turn it into a growth tool for the company. Are your debts today serving your goals, or are they a burden? Think about it and reevaluate your position. It's time. You deserve it. If your debts are for something that supports your ambition, make them a motivation for growth. If they are for luxuries, it's time to get rid of them. Debt repayment plan, snowball strategy. Learn and apply this strategy to get rid of debt. In this strategy, you start by paying off the smallest debts first and then move on to the largest. This method gives you a sense of accomplishment with each debt you finish, which increases your motivation to continue moving forward. If you have several debts, the first of which is $500 and the last of which is $2,000, start by paying off the $500 first. And when you pay it off, use the same amount to pay off the next debt. Jay Shetty's story. From student debt to financial success. Jay Shetty started out with huge student debt and felt like it was standing between him and his goals. But he started with a simple repayment strategy and focused on gradually eliminating his debt. How did he succeed? Jay committed to a monthly debt repayment plan and set aside a fixed amount each month to pay off the smallest debt. Gradually, he was able to eliminate all of his debt and gradually began building his wealth. Lessons learned. Sticking to a simple repayment plan and gradually eliminating debt, even if it's a small amount, can help you get rid of the burden of debt over time. Now it's your turn. What's the smallest debt you have today? Try starting with it, even if it's a small amount, and you'll feel a huge difference when you start seeing results. Part 3. Commit to a monthly budget and make sustainable progress. After you have identified the debts you need to pay off, set a monthly budget and stick to it. This budget should be a fixed portion of your income that is dedicated solely to paying off debt and is not used for any other purpose. Colonel Sanders lived most of his life in difficult financial circumstances and was always on the verge of debt, but he gradually began to get out of it after starting KFC. How did he succeed? Once he started making a small profit from KFC, he committed to a specific budget to pay off his debts and slowly expand his business. This commitment was an essential part of his success. Lessons learned. Committing to a monthly budget plan, even if it is a small start, can lead to sustainable success in the long run. Can you set aside a fixed amount of money each month to pay off your debts? Even if it is 10% of your income, committing to this amount can make a big difference over time. Part 4. Tips to avoid getting into debt in the future. Try to avoid using credit cards to buy unnecessary things. If you use a credit card, make sure to pay off the full amount before the grace period ends. Carry a specific amount of cash instead of relying on credit cards, and stick to it to cover your daily expenses. When you have an emergency fund, you can avoid resorting to debt in times of need. Try setting aside a small amount for emergencies to avoid debt when crises occur. Part 5. Continuous motivation to get rid of debt. Set small goals such as paying off part of a certain debt and reward yourself when you achieve them. As you make progress, celebrate your success in a simple way that will boost your enthusiasm to continue. Imagine what your life will be like when you get rid of all debt. Try to imagine this feeling to motivate yourself to continue. In the end, debt is not the end of the world, but it is a challenge that you can overcome. Take a steady step like many people who have successfully gotten out of debt and rebuilt their lives. Remember the stories of people like Howard Schultz, Colonel Sanders, and Jay Shetty, who were able to overcome debt through commitment and resilience. You too can start your journey today. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to Empower Minds. See you in the next episode, where we will talk about investing smartly to build sustainable wealth.